I got to give a shout out to my buddy Ryan, who unfortunately we don't talk a whole lot anymore. We just kind of drifted apart. He told me something when my wife was pregnant with my first kid, which thank God he did. And probably every father needs to hear this. There's exceptions to the rule, but I think this is how most men feel. He was like, Scott, he's like, I got to tell you something, man. For the first year or two, everything about having a kid sucks. Your sex life goes to hell. Your wife feels like shit. They cost a lot of money. They don't have any personality yet. All they do is eat and cry and shit. And you're going to feel as a man like, did I do something wrong? Am I a horrible father? Why am I not connecting with this little bundle of joy? He's like, and then somewhere around a year and a half or 2 years, when they start to have some personality and they can talk, that's when the father gets really, really connected. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I wouldn't take a bullet for this kid. I will kill somebody if they look at them cross-eyed. And thank God he told me that, because when my wife was going through her own, version of postpartum, I was like, okay, I'm also feeling a bunch of these horrible things. But somebody prepped me for that. And,
Yeah.
I feel like women don't prep women for that, because like you just don't have that bro talk.
No, we don't have the bro talk. I could really use that bro in my life. I'm so glad that Ryan did that for you. We don't have the bro talk. And then we're also supposed to be like, actually, I just posted this on my Instagram thing. It was a quote from my book about like how we're like women are goddesses and mothers are goddesses. And, and like goddesses aren't just these like beautiful floating things that floated around on clouds. They were like fierce and pissy and emotional. And that's what you are when you have a child. And you're right. Like Qasim would come in from work and I'd be frazzled and I'd just try to hand him the baby and I'd be like, you're late from work and where are you? And I need you here. And he's like, I run a business. I can't just like clock out at 5 o'clock. That's not how it works. And I'm like, I don't care. I need you here.
Right.
And I couldn't he lost me. I don't think he saw me for a really long time. I don't know who he saw, but it wasn't me.
Yeah.
And then the anxiety would kick in and it would just make things worse. Cause I'm like, I'm fucking up my marriage and I keep saying the wrong things. And does Qasim hate me? And cause he'll just get like really quiet and he doesn't want to say anything cause he doesn't want to rock the boat, but I know his face. And I know when he's really quiet and like emotionless, I actually know that he's experiencing a lot of deep emotions. And I'm like, oh no, he hates me. And so I just would like spiral internally and I just have all these thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
And I would just deal with all of them on my own. And I'd have arguments with him in my head.
Right.
That never saw the light of day. And it was horrible for our relationship.
Yeah. I remember my wife waking up one time and she was like super pissed. And I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, well, I kept getting woken up by the baby and that kept disrupting me from my dreams. And in our dreams, we were having this massive fight. And I'm like, wait, so now you're pissed off at me because of something you dreamt about me? I'm like, I do plenty of stuff in the waking hours for you to be bitter at me, but you can't also add on the stuff that I did to you in your dream. And she's like, well, I'm sure if you did it to me in my dream, you've probably done it to me in real life. And that was my subconscious just like manifesting it. And I'm like, all right, dude, well, I can't win this conversation. Let me have your mom and your cousin come over. I'm going to go to work for 32 hours. And guys can just hide and work. It's so unfair. Like we can just say like, we got to be the provider, got to take care of our wife and our new kids. So I'm going to go to work. And I just got to hide and work for 2 years. And not surprisingly, the year after my son was born, year after my daughter was born, we had record-setting years at business because I would just hide and work instead of go home and help my wife.
That's very interesting. I wonder if we like did a study on that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Just like how much people's companies thrived at that point. Wow. That's a really cool thought. It's a really, really sad thought, but It's a very, very cool thought.